Hello, in this video we'll be seeing how to create an NFS export. So to create an NFS export, first you'll need to create an empty directory. I'm going to the file system and the file system explorer. So in this file system explorer you'll have the folders, files that has been created in Isilon. So I'm going to create an empty directory first. Inside IFS data, inside Ismail folder, create a empty directory that you need. So I'm going to create test NFS share. So I'm leaving the permissions as default. Create directory. So the test NFS share directory is created and it's empty. Now I'll go to protocols, Unix sharing NFS, and click on create export. In Isilon, we call the SMB as share and NFS as an export. So I'm creating export here. Click on create export. It will ask you for the path. The path that I've created, so I'll browse it, IFS data, small, and we have the created folder test NFS share. Click on that and select it and give a description, test NFS share, and here you'll have option for clients, always read write clients, always read only clients, and root clients. So clients are nothing but the IPs of the servers or the application, the server holding the applications. So NFS exports are basically for the Linux servers holding the applications. So you will need the Linux server IPs to grant access. In SMB we saw users or groups where username will be given and that particular user will be given access for that particular share. Well, in terms of NFS, it is a Linux servers or Unix servers or Mac OS, whatever, or the servers, they'll have the IP and these IPs have to be given access. So the client is nothing but the access, and always read write is nothing but the read write access to the clients, and read only is just only read only access, and root clients are nothing but these clients can act as a roots. So now we'll be giving a random IP. If you have too many IPs, just give a comma and enter the next IP. So I'm giving the root clients access and permissions to restrict access to read only. So if you want to restrict them to read only, click on this, and down that you have an option for enable mount access to subdirectories. So when they want to uh, give access for their subdirectory, when they are mounting it to the directory, and again below that they will have several subdirectories. So if you want to given permission to mount access to the subdirectory level, then click on that. If you don't give this, then they will not be able to mount it to their another subdirectory. So click on this enable mount access and leave the default rest and click on create export. So now this export is getting created. So this export will not have any name, rather it will have only the export ID. So you can call the export using the export ID, and it will have only the path and the client IPs that are given access. Okay, it says the export ID did not create due to the following error, bad host name. So in this case it says that the root clients are not accessible thus they are not having any host names. So let's give the IP of this particular computer. Okay, it got created. So here you can see the export ID. By default, IFS will be an export ID. That's a root directory, and it will be there in SMB as well as the NFS. So here you can see the export ID 3 that we created with the test NFS share folder, and you can see here the access that we have given. So you will have to give the Smart Connect zone name with the path of the export that we have created to the application team so that they can mount it on their server end. So this is how you'll have to create an NFS export. That's it for this lecture. We'll see on the next lecture.